I'm Bryn Christie, and today the guys talk with Justin Burton about retro gaming. And then we have another Not a Gamer review by Monty Wolfe. All that and more on today's Couch Co-op.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Welcome to Couch Co-op. I'm Ian, and this is Jared with me as always, and welcome back to the show. It's second episode.
Second episode.
Ooh, it is hot out today
It is.
in the Portland
Luckily,
metro
I have
area.
air conditioning,
Air
so
con-
that's
yeah, right here.
pretty
He has
nice.
air conditioning
right
built
here.
into his crotch right
Yeah.
there. So that's very awesome. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the very positive feedback on the reformatting of the show. They really
Yeah.
seem to like it. We're going to keep tooling along here and making things better and hopefully more exciting for them. And so to the news, the big news of the day, Gearbox announced their new original IP, BattleBorn, today. Big. Everything's blowing up on the internets, the Facebooks.
I learned about it about 10 minutes ago.
He hasn't even checked his pad yet. He hasn't even checked it yet.
Yeah.
But it looks...
The trailer's cool.
It's a CG trailer, so you don't get a lot from it.
You don't really know.
But first-person MOBA is what they're saying.
Which could be cool.
Could be. I mean, I haven't played a MOBA. I know in the podcast I mentioned how I wanted to get into it, but this looks like this might be the way. This might be the way.
Yeah, I don't know, because maybe if I'm a support role, because when it comes down to like accuracy and you have to like hold your team down by being accurate and actually playing really good at a first-person shooter, I'm not that guy. So I don't know, a MOBA of that caliber.
And it'll have
might be
RPG
kinda tough.
elements, I guess, in it. So it's pretty much like covering. But you know what? I mean, Gearbox. You know, they did it with Borderlands. They made a first-person RPG shooter really awesome.
Yeah.
And now we know why they haven't been working on Borderlands 3, because they're doing this. This doesn't come out until like 2016.
Yeah. Well, they're a good trendsetter, so
Yeah.
I'd like to see this succeed.
But I think the trailer was kind of cool. I mean, the art style I thought was kind of whimsical.
Yeah. I like the music they picked.
The music
That
was a good choice.
pretty fitting for it. Yeah.
Has some like whimsical. You think it was a fantasy whimsical thing, and then it has some steampunk rolled in there, and then there's like a samurai.
Yeah,
and-
samurai, some giant beefy dude with a minigun.
Like
So yeah, it's kind of any type of character you want to
Right.
play. So that's pretty cool.
Guy like straight out of like Team Fortress, basically. It's
Yeah.
just a big. But it looks. I would probably give this a shot.
But it's not even coming out till 2016,
16,
you
right.
said. So
Right.
if anything, we'll see a beta this year. I'm guessing, like
Well,
fall.
or at least we'll
maybe.
hear more about it at Gamescom and all those other shows that
Yeah.
are coming up. PAX.
I don't think we'll see any gameplay until next year's E3, maybe.
Probably, maybe.
Yeah, it's still a long ways out.
It's kind of funny though. I mean, it's so close to E3. It would have been cool if they had like announced this at E3. I wonder if they just want the spotlight all to themselves.
It's too early. It's too early.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think people were pissed that games were being announced for 2015, and
Right.
now if they were to announce a game in 16, everybody'd be like, why did you do this to us?
This is true. This is true.
It kind of like Mass Effect, they
Right.
teased all this. This is kind of what we're thinking, but
Nah,
we don't know.
You have no idea, right? That's big letdown.
Yeah.
Of the show. Anyway,
So-
probably the biggest letdown of E3 was that. But anyway.
Yes.
And then in another kind of unrelated but related, one of the favorite YouTube channels I watch is Beatdown Boogie, and they just concluded their giant Mario Warfare storyline with episode 8. I think today. It popped up in my subscription today, and if you don't watch Beatdown Boogie or watch any other kind of video game related stuff, it's really awesome. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed their Modern Gear story with Call of Duty and Metal Gear Solid. It was really funny and cool, and this Mario one just took it to a whole new level. Really enjoyed it. I know Jared's only watched the first episode.
Yeah, I've only watched the first episode of each, which I loved. Just for some reason on YouTube, I always forget to go back in and check stuff out.
Just watch. It's so good.
Yeah, so I need to spend a day on YouTube to watch half the stuff that I have backlogged or in the watch later list. And
anyway, that's just kind of one of the things I wanted to point out. It's really cool. I know some of my friends I've gotten them into watching it, and I just highly recommend it. And that's kind of all I really have for the news. There's nothing. It's still really quiet. I mean, Crytek is supposedly losing people, and Sony's rumored to be interested in buying them. I don't know how interested people are in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Destiny.
I guess we'll see.
Destiny announced all these bundles that you can't get. So
yeah. The bundles sound like they sold out really quick, but the beta is 10 days on PS4. So I'm excited to play in that.
And they announced the Xbox One's beta date. And,
it's 4 or 5 days, something like that.
So, I mean, there's stuff going on, but there's nothing super crazy. I think the Gearbox news of BattleBorn was like, oh, that's awesome, and it's a new IP, and it was just probably the most exciting.
Yeah, I love Gearbox, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, that's the news, and so we'll be right back after this.
I am a career mode guy. UFCs 1 through 3, I was able to use that amazing character creation mode and get an almost perfect likeness of myself. I get into the character creation mode, and it is fucking pathetic. There are fewer options in this game for character creation than there were for picking options in Mario 2. So if EA is going to give us an option to make ourselves, I'm not entirely sure why they gave you 12 body type options and 11 of them are different types of rippled, chiseled six-pack abs and then one really fat fuck. Now, sure, that describes the Couch Co-op cast, but that is not a good selection of all of the gamers out there. THQ, half a decade, gave us a wonderful character creation mode with infinitely more options than this new game has given us. I mean, they had slider bars for adjusting your body fat percentage. Now we're on the new generation of games, which is supposed to be bigger and better and greater, and we have way less options. It's like, you're gonna like what we give you, and if you're not, please be distracted by the shiny new graphics. So then we get to designing the face after looking at the body, and I discover that the face options are actually worse than the body options. There's hardly any choices. You can't get anything even remotely resembling what you're shooting for. But it turns out that the reason that they did this is because EA has a program called Game Face, where they will render a photograph into the video game, which I think is a fucking fantastic idea. Except that they didn't include it in the system, and I have a camera hooked up to my gaming device and can't fucking use it to put my face in the game. Because, why would you want your game features in your game? I get online, and I go to their website, and I start scrolling through their features, and turns out EA's Game Face program is only compatible with Macs which are running Snow Leopard. Snow Leopard is an operating system which the last stable version came out in July of 2011. So, if you haven't updated your computer in the last 3 years, please enjoy our software. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all. So I had my brother try it out on his PC, and it kept crashing. I held off on creating my character and playing the game I had pre-ordered for 2 weeks, waiting for this fucking website to work. They finally release a patch and allow me to make my own character, and it is shit in a hat. It's horrible. It looks like my mom fucked a space alien. After being insulted by the game, I finally get my character going, who looks absolutely nothing like me, and all in all, the gameplay itself is good. But they dropped the ball on character creation. The current generation should not have less options than the one that preceded it. It's absolutely ridiculous. The only thing that has made this even remotely workable is that I'm fighting a little bit better because I'm just imagining that my AI opponent is the person who created the character creator. Anyway, I'm Jason, and that's your Angry Gamer Review.
Well, that was revealing. Thanks for that rant, Jason. Now it's time for some retro game talk. So let's have a little retro fun. Today's secret word is zapper. Now back to the couch.
We're back! Bryn, thank you for that. Very informative. I'm now joined by longtime friend and friend of the show, Justin Burton.
How's it going?
Hi, Justin.
Hey
I
guys.
thought you said you weren't drunk. No, so we have him on the show. Justin's one of my friends who loves retro video games.
I love nostalgia.
Nostalgia, is that
Yeah.
why? Is that the same? Not the same.
I'll
Explain that. Why
explain.
is it different? Is
For-
enjoying retro games different than playing games just for nostalgia?
Yes. I mean, some people like collecting classic cars that are 20 years old. It doesn't. So for them, it couldn't be nostalgic. For them, they didn't grow up around those cars, but they still like them.
Right.
So there's a lot of young kids nowadays that collect old games. But I grew up playing those games. So for me, whether they suck or not, I still want to collect them and just have them because they're just memories for me. So.
Do you really think there's a lot of kids though out there collecting these old games?
I don't think there's as many as there are my age, but from the YouTube videos that I've watched and the different people that I've talked to, there's some people that are into those kinds of games, so the old ones, which is great.
Right.
But for them, I don't think it's nostalgic.
So, why do you keep playing these? What are antiquated old games? What is the draw? What do you really like? I mean, it's nostalgia, but what
All right.
about the nostalgia?
Well, so I collect the games whenever I have an opportunity to buy them. I don't play them as much as I play the new games
Right.
because it doesn't take long for me to go. I just don't have the patience for this. I think thanks to video games in general, now I don't have the patience for anything. Everything needs to be super quick and whatever,
Right.
or it's just a mental problem that I have. But there's just, it doesn't really matter, I guess, what it is. It's if I have the opportunity to purchase a game, just from something that I've played in the past, I'm gonna do it.
Do you only buy games that you've played in the past, or were you like, oh, I heard about this random old game and like I'm gonna try it out?
Right now, I only purchase games that I've played in the past, but I've watched enough retro game reviews that there's lots of games out there that I want to play. For example, I bought the Batman game for NES,
Right.
which I heard
Good
is like
choice.
a very, very good game.
Is it?
I haven't
It
played
is.
it yet. So I have it, and I know that, it looks very similar to like Ninja Gaiden. So,
Why go through the trouble of buying the console and the cartridges? Why not just with the PC? Any PC nowadays can run, Nintendo games. Why not just
well,
go that route?
I thought about this, and the only analogy I could come up with was it's the difference between credit and cash. It's like you can have as much information as you want on a computer, but when it comes down to the actual hard copy, what's worth more to me is having the cold hard cash, is the box and everything, because it's not just playing the game, it's having the box, it's looking at the artwork, it's just opening it up, and just it's a whole experience, I guess. And emulators, first of all, I don't think emulators are good because of the control scheme for
Right.
them. You don't
It's
have the
kinda off.
actual controller. I hate playing retro games on my iPhone. It's a horrible idea. Touchscreen, just
It is.
I need to be able to push in the button, but it's good for pick up and go kind of things if you just want that instant, let's just play a classic game or whatever, but it's not the same.
And I know you recently just really got back into like collecting. What systems do you kind of collect for? What do you look for? What are you looking for?
Well, right now I'm trying to, I don't really care about the boxes, okay, so you have retro collectors that are like hardcore,
Right.
They want everything, and they've played every single game out there. I'm just trying to get all the games that I played when I was a kid, some of the ones that I heard that are good, but I just wanted to get everything back from for the NES and the Super Nintendo. So, you know, as long as they've been making video games, there's been the used game, you know, industry where you could trade games in or whatever. And through my childhood, if there was a new system out or a new game or whatever, I would take my old games and I'd go trade them in to get, you know, trade 5 games in to get the brand new Super Nintendo game or whatever.
Right.
And back then I didn't think about, you know, how much I would miss those games as I got older, just like my, you know, my first car, things like that. You know, I wish I never got rid of those things. So I want to try to collect, like, you know, and I think that's what everybody tries to do, is just get what they remember.
Right.
You know, and some of them I never realized, like Super Metroid, would be so expensive now or so hard to find. You know, when I had that game, no big deal back then. But yeah.
Well, this brings me two things that kind of. There was that guy that was just recently in the news. He sold his largest collection by Guinness Book of World Records, retro game collection. I guess he lives in New York somewhere.
How much did he?
$750,000, near $750,000 for his collection of video games. That's ridiculous. I mean, to let that go, I would not know what that's like. The only person I know on a small scale that got rid of their retro collection is Jared, because Jared got rid of his retro collection to fund his current collection of video games.
Yeah.
But what was that like for you? I mean, getting rid of all that stuff. Do you regret it?
Yeah, I do now. I would recommend not doing it if you plan on doing it. But I had a lot of gems. Even if I had them now, they'd be worth a lot of money. Like Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, you know, a lot of Super Nintendo games. Even Suikoden, the original one on PS1, which still is a really highly valued game. But no, I want them back. I would love to have my Super Nintendo and a whole big old stack of games. But yeah, I mean, it got me a PS3 and an Xbox 360 and several games, all brand new. So, I mean, it was valuable to other people, but it was more valuable to me,
Yeah, it's tough.
I would say. But yeah, I regret it, but I'm also happy that I did it because I really wanted to get into the newer generations. And that was, at the time, that was the only way I could afford it.
So, Justin, so what are some of the, like, where do you go when you're looking for these things? I mean, you like Craigslist?
Oh yeah, Craigslist. That's a good one, actually. There's lots of local used video game stores. That's where you run into, though, people charging ridiculous amounts of money, or the conditions aren't that great of the games. So if you do the internet thing, usually, I don't know. I guess people have different opinions on it, but I feel like you get a better deal if you do it online because most people know what people are looking for.
Right.
So they try to upsell, so they'll try to find the box, or they'll try to find the instruction booklet or something, or try to offer you something, you know, to get you to pay the higher price. That's usually what I do, but for the most part, it's local game stores. But you know, since the retro gaming thing, along with the comic book industry, is starting to kind of get more popular, Portland, where we are, the Portland area where we are, is going to start to see more retro game type shows, and you're probably going to run into the same thing where games are going to be overly priced.
Yeah.
You know,
You got to be careful
because they're trying to sell to the people that don't know, and I'm kind of one of those people that they know that people are willing to pay for nostalgia,
Right.
you know, versus hardcore collectors. So I'm trying to learn the difference in how to haggle and all that.
It's tough too.
It's tough because I'm not like a salesman.
We went to the show.
Yeah.
We went to the show, and Justin, what was it? $20 they wanted for Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Yeah.
I was like, just you can't. Mainly, I think because Mike Tyson on the other versions, he's not on it. It's just Punch Out, so that version's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
It's much cheaper.
But the Mike Tyson version is rare because Mike Tyson's not on it. So I was just like, I don't play this game. I'll just give it to Justin because I know he's a collector and he digs that kind of stuff. But it's just crazy. You got to be careful for that kind of stuff. You don't know.
No, I mean, that one and Super Contra, Super Contra. I was sitting there at the Retro Game Show going to every single booth, and they had like 10, 15 of them, and I just sat there staring at it, just debating.
I'm not going to buy that.
Because I'm like, $20. So they had another booth where the guy had PlayStation 2 games, all of them, for $1. He was just selling them for $1, all perfect condition, tons of great titles.
Because they sold so many
He
more
was
of
just trying to
those.
get rid of them.
Right.
And I'm just thinking to myself, $20, I could go get 20 games right now, or I could buy this one game
that you're not
I'm
gonna
never
play.
going to play.
Yeah.
But I want to have it in my collection, you know, so that one day, whenever I feel like playing it, it's there, ready to go. And then this guy just said, "Just don't buy it. I'll give it to you."
So just grab a couple of your favorite. Like these, you brought a little collection of retro.
I just
kind of
grabbed
things.
what, because I don't have my collection organized. They're in boxes here
Right.
and there, all over the place, bags and stuff. I just kind of get them and then put them someplace. So these are the ones that just jumped out at me. So I try to collect everything up to PlayStation 2, which I consider retro right now.
We were having a conversation on the Facebook page about that. Like, what is considered retro gaming? You know.
It's changing a lot. Pretty much, I don't know. I personally would assume like anything like 20 years back. You know, gaming's been around for so long now.
See, I'm saying like anything that's standard definition at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like anything that you have to plug into a tube TV to look good is retro gaming. Because like you have to use a retro television.
I
You
think
know.
PlayStation 2 would be the last one of that kind then.
Yeah.
Or the original Xbox. But
Right.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So no, pick a couple. Tell me a little bit about one of these that you
alright,
really
well,
like.
all these games aren't even really that great of games.
What are you
Well, except
talking
for
about?
Punch-Out's good.
Ninja Turtles. This is the best
Mike
game.
Tyson's
Love
Punch-Out.
Ninja Turtles.
It's very difficult.
It
Probably
is.
one of the hardest games out there.
It's good though.
Featured in the movie The Wizard.
Yeah, we just did a retro comment. We did a couch co-op commentary on The Wizard. You guys should go check it out on the Milkman Pictures page. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
What he said.
It's really funny.
Tecmo Bowl probably has to be one of the most famous football games of all
I
time.
love
Before
Tecmo
Madden,
Bowl.
I mean, everybody was playing this game. Everybody knows about this
I was
one.
playing that
Bo-
in a 10-yard fight.
Bo Jackson on every team right here. You just put him
Yeah,
on your team
of
and just
course.
win. Just boom,
That's
just, Bo Jackson just win.
And this game is not that great of a game,
Oh,
but
it's terrible.
this is a game that me and my friends would play all the time, every summer.
I forgot what it's even called. I just know the cover.
TNC Surf Design.
TNC Surf Design.
Which, yeah, based on a clothing company, but...
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It was very unplayable.
Well, he loves it though. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You never know.
I played the crap out of it, but it was very unplayable.
Yeah, but you just kept doing it over
Yeah,
and over
you
and over
did.
again because it had the beach. It
You,
had
you
the
couldn't
pretty
get good at
colors.
the game,
No.
as far as I'm concerned.
So for people that are looking, what kind of advice would you have for people that are like, you know, looking to, you know, start maybe buying back their collection or getting involved in collecting? What would you say?
Well, what I would do to make it easier is to just come up with a list. Just try to write down every game that you remember playing, and then save up some. I'd say save up like $100, and then just go try to pick up as much as that stuff as you can for the smallest price, and then wait until you get. You know, obviously you'll find out that one of the games that you want, like Super Metroid, is going to be tons of money. So wait, you know, save up for that one because you never know when that's going to drop, or someone at a garage sale has no idea, you know, how much the game is worth or whatever. So try to collect the little tiny, like these ones are like $1, $3
Right.
or whatever. Try to just get all that, you know, kind of that's like a snowball effect or whatever. Just start small and then work your way up.
And it's weird too, because like obviously Justin doesn't really care if they're boxed or not boxed, or he's just collecting for game nostalgia. Some collectors, they want the mint, they want the card, they want the instruction manual, and that, you know, that's
Yeah.
important to know that that's all going to come with an additional price.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that's
And that's what
That's
I
hard
don't
to
understand is that okay, Genesis games, they came in a box that was a clamshell box that was supposed to close. You could lock your game inside of it. It had a little spot for the booklet and everything, but yet people threw those away and just had just the cartridges because you go to the stores to buy the games and they have tons of the cartridges and only a few of the games that are still in the box, and I don't understand why, you know.
Well, even these days, people are like, they buy a brand new disc game, open it up, throw the box away, shove it in like a CD wallet or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
What? I just have a random retro question. Like Duck Hunt, they use the thing to shoot the
Right?
whatever.
Zapper.
Congratulations. Anyway, so what other games use that?
Hogan's Alley. Yeah.
Well, is that it?
No.
There's a couple. There was I don't know,
Jeez.
maybe like 5 different
Yeah,
games. There was like a
were
carnival
some
game,
decent ones.
but yeah.
Cool. Well, Justin, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Jared, we are going. Where are we going? Oh, we're going to
Left.
a no comic book review. Not a no comic book review.
Non-gamer.
A non-gamer review
Of a
Yeah.
comic book?
of a comic book.
All right.
Not really.
Yeah, right.
Take it away, Monty.
I'm not as big on those type games. In fact, what are those games called?
Fighting game.
Fighting games. That's novel. Hi, I'm Monty Wolfe, and this is the I'm Not a Gamer review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. It's basically a Street Fighter game. It's two people fighting each other, a lot of KOs, that sort of thing. I got some KOs, that's all I can say. The other guy did not. I mean, what can you say about a game that is just basically two people fighting each other? You know, it's kicks, it's dodges, it's special powers sometimes. For some reason, I could pull a green guy out of me, and the green guy would fight the other guy. But I was just kind of nonchalantly sitting there with my, pants in my hands in my pockets, just like whatever, I'm just cool. I'm not gonna fight this guy, but this guy will. I liked how it looked, honestly. The intro was really nice. The intro looked like a show I would watch, but it wasn't a show; it was a game. Honestly, it played okay. I didn't understand most of the features. I didn't really know what I was doing exactly, or rather, I didn't know what buttons controlled what. I don't know if there was a tutorial before the game. I'm not sure. It would have been nice to, maybe know what buttons, did what. But I won, so I don't care. It didn't seem that much more advanced than, say, like games from 10 years ago. But, again, what do I know? I'm not a gamer. I would say I would play it again. If I'm really bored, maybe a little drunk, sure, why not? And this has been Monty Wolfe with your I'm Not a Gamer review.
All right, thank you, Monty, for that Not a Gamer review. You are truly not a gamer. All right, Justin, thanks for being on the show. Awesome to have you. Retro Games, he's your man. Jared, as always, my co-host, Couch Co-op. We'll see you next time. Guys, play us out.
Couch Co-op.